Hello, everybody, and welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Flynn. We are live from Sydney, Australia here. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching live, we do have a live chat here on YouTube, so feel free to jump in, ask questions, or say hello. If you missed yesterday, we had two live streams. We had a live stream on illustration with Jeremy Lord, and we also had our guest today, which is Jeremy Mura, designer, creator, educator, also from here in Sydney, Australia. So let's get him on. Hello, Jeremy. Welcome back.
So a great quote from Steph Hammerlock, he's a strategist. He says, a brand is a distinctive experiential promise that represents a business. So whenever you're in business, a business sells a product or a service to a customer, they basically have a promise that they're keeping. They're saying, hey, I'll deliver this in exchange for a price. So you're offering value, and then a customer is purchasing that, and there's an experience involved. There's a process. And so that evokes a brand. And then Marty Meyer's quote, I read it yesterday, a brand is a person's gut feeling. So a brand is more emotion than logic. When people buy, they buy with their emotions, not logic half the time, most of the time. So it's all about shaping perception. A brand is about shaping perception and carving an image in the mind. So when we think of Apple, we think of like Steve Jobs. We think of like great desktops. It just works. We think of designers, we think of creativity, imagination. So, and that's the brand they've crafted when we think of Apple. Now, branding, I've got a quote this is how I sort of define branding. Is the process of having distinctive assets that customers engage with over a long period of time to form a consistent belief and perception about a business. So basically similar to what I just said. It's about when we think of McDonald's, we think of the big M arches and the red color. And so over 50 years, 100 years, they've maintained that same consistent, those assets. And now it's ingrained in everyone's mind. When you see it on the road, it's like, oh, Mackey's, let's get a soft serve ice cream, or Big Mac, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And another quote is from Michael Hodgins. He's, I think, a strategist as well. It's the art and science of creating brand personality. So a brand is kind of like a person or a movie character, if you think about it, really, that you're creating. Sometimes we talk about archetypes as well. And then just one more here, brand building from Peter Wilkin. He says is identifying, articulating, and then building this territory in the mind, which is your brand. And it's something that needs constant management, nurturing, checking, relative to what your competitors are doing, to what your consumers or your customers are interpreting. So that's another thought there. I know it's a lot of text, but it's just trying to get into the mindset of what branding is, brand building. And over time, you build your brand. You're on social media. All brands are creating content now. That's like a no-brainer. You have to do that. So how you show up with your company's brand is important.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about goals and audience. We always want to ask why. You always want to get to the root of why they're starting the business, what's the, how they do it, what they do, what's their offering, what's the big vision, why they want to create this new product or whatever it is. So I always try and get to the purpose, and I always ask those questions: what, how, and why. And then once you've got that, this helps shape the design and everything. It's important to cover this. And usually I do that with a strategy workshop. So if I just jump to Illustrator, you can see I have this framework that I use. It's nothing crazy, but it's a simple framework where I take my clients through. We break down the business, the brand, the customers, the goals, and I start asking questions. The name, the meaning, who are the decision makers, taglines, the location of the business. Is it in Sydney? Is it global? And then we go through the brand soul, so breaking down the positioning, the personality. So you can see the golden circle from Simon Sinek again that I just showed you.
Yeah.
How
we should shout out, if people haven't seen it, is a really great, I think it's a TED talk from a really long time ago where he's explaining how this works as well. And that's a good bit of research for anyone that hasn't seen it. It's a really amazing breakdown and examples, and he's a very good presenter, right? So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a great one to watch. Yeah, 100%. And he says people don't buy what you do, but they buy why you do it. So that's why it's important to get to the why, or else you'll just be a cookie cutter business, basically, a cookie cutter brand. So I really love that. So why do you exist beyond money? Is it just to save time and money, or is it for something else, to someone to feel or belong to something, or to have a purpose or whatever it is. So I just like go through, ask questions, and this really helps inform the brand identity, which we talked about a little bit yesterday. The logo, the identity, the visuals, the fun stuff. We talk about the values. What are the highest values that the company represents? So I usually have like a few words here to help pick for my clients. The personality slider or the matrix, which I showed yesterday, look and feel matrix. We talk about like how do we sound? How do we, look like? Are we empathetic? Are we more authoritative? Are we friendly? Are we nostalgic? Then you can use archetypes. Some people don't use this because it's kind of not useful. Just depends on your process. You can customize your process how you want it.
Yeah.
But here they're like the 12 archetypes which you can use: creator, everyman, jester. So this helps you carve an image in your mind. And then I asked for like, what are the brand keywords? So then I use that to, help me with the design process.
Yeah. And do you often get clients sort of thinking about these things for the very first time as well? Like they're creating a brand, they're like, I want to do this. It's, this is the market and this is who it was. And then they come down and they go, actually I haven't thought of any of this stuff. Do you get that?
Yeah. Yeah, I get that a little bit, but I think these days they usually have like a one pager where they already know the audience, they know what they're offering. So they got a bit of it, but they haven't elaborated or expanded upon it. So I usually, still take them through this. Unless it's a small project and they know what they want, then I just jump into design and skip the discovery process. So, but that's for like a smaller projects. For the proper big ones, I take them through this to make sure we're clear and aligned on everything. So I really understand what they're offering. Features and benefits. Talk about their offering. What's the point of difference? What is the end benefit to the user? And then sometimes I can workshop with them and help them maybe tweak their offering if it's not, if I just feel like it's just generic. Got some quotes sprinkled throughout there. Then we can break down like the user persona. Who is the person we're trying to attract? Who are they? Demographics, psychographics. What do they earn? Are they married? Is it a female, male? What are their pains, their problems, their dreams, desires? Then another good one is using the buyer's journey. So awareness, consideration, and decision. So it's like, how do people know that they have a problem? They might, have a word of mouth or a conversation, or maybe they run a business and they're experiencing a problem. Then they see your offer on maybe a Facebook ad, and then they click it and go on a landing page. And so they're aware of your offer now. And so that helps the buyer's journey from like how they interact and then how they get to you. Yeah. What else? Competitor map. So like, I think I mentioned it a bit yesterday. So like, I like to show outliers, indirect and the direct competitors. And then I put the links, the websites there. And then I go research the competitors, screenshot their website, do an audit, see what their messaging is, what their colors, their logo style. And then we try and do the opposite of that, because branding is just differentiation. You want to differentiate from everyone else.
Yeah, totally. And that's like kind of a very advertising, I think I've said this before when you've been on the live stream. It's like a very advertising approch, right? Like whenever we used to visit advertising agencies and they'd be branding a bank and they're like, okay, well, Combank is yellow, ANZ is blue. It just cannot be any of those, St. George is red or whatever it is.
Yeah, we can't be that.
It'd be just like, we cannot, they just eliminate all of those primary colors and just go, we have to be different. It's interesting.
Yeah, 100%. It seems simple, but like it's just practical, I guess,
Yeah.
You can also do something like a positioning map. Brands I like, premium, discount, brands I don't like. And then you just go get the logos of the brands like your competitors and you put it on the map. And then you want to find a gap. Strategy is all about like finding a plan and finding a gap in the market that you can fill. So yeah, and then we have like a timeline, and that's just something simple you can do.
Yeah. It's great to have that as your starting off point. Like, you've got that. So if the client comes out, you can just make some tweaks to it if you need to, and just send it off and go, hey, this is like, our starting point.
Yeah, 100%.
We have a quick question, if you don't mind me asking.
Sure, go for it.
As we're going along. Thanks, Daytona, as well, for sticking around and asking questions. How do you distinguish between whether or not the client's product is a customer need or a want?
A customer need versus a customer want. It's about, is it an actual pain point? Like, is it something they're actually struggling with? So I would think about that. Versus a need. A need is, I mean, a want is just something that is, you got to think about, like, people just want a few things. They want either to save money, save time, or they want status. Um, so a want is not necessarily going to like they don't need it. So I don't know. Just that's I think in simple terms, just you got to ask the right questions and dig deeper to like what is the actual is it an actual pain point, or like are you just if it's not solving an actual pain point, then you need to go back to the actual offering and product, and maybe you don't have it actually a business. Maybe you just like are you selling art? Are you so you really got to distinguish that. But yeah, I don't know. Does that help?
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. Like, I guess through all the whole entire discovery phase, I guess that sort of thing can come out, because of course they may very well have wants, and obviously you have your needs first. So like maybe it's just really around, I guess, balancing that all out, like which or what you deliver first as well. It's like, well, you clearly need like a logo, you need messaging, you need branding, you need to understand your own brand. I need to understand it. You need to execute on it, and then it's like, maybe they want all these bells and whistles. It's like, let's do that in phase 2. Let's get this foundation sorted first.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why it's important to like this whole branding phase. Or else you might just, your client might want, oh, I want a billboard or I want a website. But it's like, hey, you might not need a website. You might just need an Instagram page with some content and then send them to a WhatsApp or something So you just really, you got to dig deep to see what's going to move the needle in the business, what's going to generate income, because without income, the business can't survive. So it's like, what are the key things that are going to move, like make the business move, key actions. So yeah.
Nice. Cool. Great question. Thanks.
Perfect. So yeah, ideal customer demographics. I think we've mentioned this, psychographics. Another framework you can use is the empathy map. Say what they think, what they feel, what they do, the user. And this can help you align to understand what they need and want, like we just mentioned. And then brand naming. So, so once you understand like some of these cool things, you got to think about a brand name. And whenever I think of brand naming, I always keep it simple, short, easy to pronounce, and memorable. So here are for examples of some brand names. You got PayPal, Subway, Google, Dunkin' Donuts, IBM, Ford. They're all different types. So you've got descriptive, evocative, lexical, an acronym style, and founder style. So I got the descriptions at the top there. So yeah, you can use puns, you can use rhyming, you can use, it doesn't have to be spelt properly. You can have like misspelling on purpose. Some just is more of a feeling. So yeah, you really can just play around with that. And here's an example. I created a brand called for a client that I had a few years back called Investra, and actually we had to go through this naming process. So I just had a Notion page, and what I did is I researched the competitors, and then we wrote down some keywords. So on the left, you can see some competitors, and some keywords I had was like elite, niche, prestige, club-like, limited, complete service, property. And then on the right-hand side, I started creating a list. And so you can see elite estates, inside invest, pioneer properties, prime home, dream develop, master buyers agents, future foundations. And so then I'll just make a list of names that I come up with. You can actually use GPT or whatever to help you out, but it's good to practice your brain yourself on like connecting words. Using a thesaurus is really good for this, to help find other words or themes. Like I like to research like Greek and Roman and some other languages as well. That helps.
Yeah.
And then I put descriptive words next to it, like so you can see there's descriptive words like what it means, like explorer, finding, seeking, like just the themes, like light, quality, high end. And then I usually research the domain, see if it's available.
Yeah.
And then for that one, I did a round 2 because they didn't like any of the names. So then I was looking at other names, Haven, Paramount Properties, Allura, Opulix, Opal View, Silkstone, Sapphire, Keystone, Purestone. So it's very high-end luxury type of vibe. So yeah, and then you can see some of the website I did and some branding stuff, booklets and things, business cards.
Yeah, cool. And it's like also really useful. Like the domain thing, I think is so underrated. Like is it available? And often when you go through that process, you can sort of say to the client, okay, there's a massage parlor in Perth that like has the same
got
name? Like, do
yeah,
you want to be like, is that worth the risk to you? Like, there's not really any kind of branding,
yeah, facts.
issues here, but someone might be searching that. Maybe people in Perth that might be really famous for something, stuff like that. Or there's an American high school football team that has that domain or something. So you can also sort of say, hey, it might not be a big deal, but we need to talk about this.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you got to research. You got to have that phase where you look online, go websites, look on Google and search, or else you might run into some issues and stuff.
That's it. Just have another question, if you don't mind.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah. How much does the color of a logo play into the psychology of the customer? Are there some colors that produce better results?
Color psychology is kind of like a myth. Um, I used to believe it's sort of true, but like at the end of the day, yes, like colors evoke certain emotions depending on where you live, right? In other countries, certain colors mean certain things. Um,
Definitely. Yeah.
in China and India, it's different. So in the Western world, we see colors like we don't necessarily see all colors as bad. Like we know that green is go and represents money, and red represents the red light stop and it's aggressive. But at the end of the day, you can pick any color, and back to what we said before at the beginning, a brand is just consistent use of that color, and eventually people get used to it. Like Macca's has red and yellow. People, like some people are trying to argue, oh, it entices appetite, but I don't know if that is there any scientific backing for that. It could be just a claim, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, I think just pick any color. But in terms of like packaging and like shelf presence, there's a book called Distinctive Assets. I have it on the shelf, and he talks about that fifth color has about 53% of influence on a buying decision when someone's walking in the supermarket. So color is definitely important when it comes to packaging and shelf space. And then I think the logo is like not even the highest thing. It's the package structure is like 14%. Logo is like a 5%, or like it's very small
Right.
of
Yeah.
impact on the packaging.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole nother field. Yeah. Fast moving consumer goods is just like a
Yeah.
whole specialization in itself. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Yeah, so
Thanks,
just a
Jeremy.
quick tip. That's all good. And then we go on to brand messaging, tagline, slogans, voice, and tone. So think different, just do it. Let's go places. I'm loving it. Ultimate driving machine, save money, live better. So all the famous brands have some sort of tagline or a jingle or sound branding connected to it. But it just adds that bit of like trying to get something to stick in someone's head. So having a tagline, I just like having it. It's good, but you don't. It's not necessary. Not every logo needs a tagline or a brand. So, and then with Investor, we came up with Your Development Journey Simplified. It is a bit long, but that's what the client picked in the end. I did recommend some other ones like Simplify Investment or Effortless Investment Path. And you can see I shortlisted some other ones, but I came up with the whole list. So you can see simplified developments, complete investment journey from search to success, effortless home investing. And I think having a tagline is good because you can also like put it on, you can do graphic design with it. You can put it on some marketing assets and stuff, you know? So
Yeah.
it's
Sometimes
just,
you need something more than a floating logo, right? So it's nice to have something else in your toolbox.
yes, exactly. You got to build out that toolbox, to make it work. And then we go on to like brand touch points, identity, the point of sale, experiences, social, website, etc. It's just a brand touch point just is when someone interacts with your brand. And they do say that it takes a minimum of 7 touch point engagements before someone trusts you to buy. I think Google has recently did one where they mentioned it was like 11 times or something like that. I think there's a TED talk out there. But this graphic is from the book Designing Brand Identity from Alina Wheeler. It's a really essential book if you want to get into brand design and a bit of strategy and stuff. So you can see, so there's all these places where you can have your brand emails, social media, blogs, websites, newsletter, signage, vehicle wraps, employees, t-shirts, presentations, all that stuff. So the main question you should ask is, where does your brand live, and where do your users or your customers experience it? So it's all about, Chris Brogan said, marketers need to build digital relationships and reputation before closing a sale. So, for example, recent client, I just told him to set up a business page. A free Google business profile. So when someone searches your name, you know how you get images pop up and reviews and stuff? Because he didn't have that. And I'm like, it's free. That's another place where someone can see you, apart from Instagram and Facebook.
So
So
it's like a
just,
Facebook business page.
yeah, yeah. But when you
Right.
type in like a business on Google, it pops up with the details inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you search a cafe, it has the reviews and the, images and location. Yeah. So that's just a quick something to think about to recommend your clients like, hey, we should get an email signature or this. So then you start those colors and the logo start ingraining into the customer's minds.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So yeah, that's the bit about branding. I don't want to go too more deeper than that, but hopefully that helps. But let's just have some fun and start to make a concept. So I was thinking of doing a chocolate brand.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
so we just did a quick audit. So we got Feastables here. You know, Mr. Beast. I'm sure you know. He tailors his product is like young adults, teens, 13 to 35 years old, 30-year-olds, fans of like Mr. Beast and YouTube culture. It's very, 3D, vibrant, fun, gamey style, um, and then they promote it for stunts and stuff. So this is more targeted to young people. We've got Cadbury Dairy Milk, mass market, family brand. It's for everyone really. It's not really premium or niche. They do have other sub brands, but we're just going to focus on this one. It's got the iconic purple, and then they use their just classic messaging, glass and a half of generosity, made to share, warm emotional stories, friendly vibes.
For those
And then,
outside of Australia, that's a very popular chocolate in Australia. The Dairy
yeah,
Milk.
yeah, it takes up half the shelf when you go into the aisle. So,
Yeah. Nice.
and then you got like a Nestle brand, which is like a Milky Bar. It's nostalgic. It reminds adult, like the boomers or millennials of
Hey,
when they were kids.
I'm a
That
millennial and
Milky.
I remember the Milky Bar kid. All right, take it easy.
Yeah. It's positioned as sweet and milky, feel good treat, sugary. It's got that classic beigey color in the blue. And then the milk splash, cartoony a bit. And then made with real milk goodness. That's their claim. Not really any storytelling or craft or ethics or whatever. So I thought let's go a bit more luxury, design savvy, small batch craft type of vibe. So I just got a bit of a mood here. I like the gold foil. Maybe we have just a typographic approach, simple shapes, something a bit different. So we're just imagining we could create like a chocolate packaging brand. And then I just created some keywords and some name ideas just to kick it off. So keywords like indie, textural, design savvy, modern, chocolate, minimal, small batch. And then some names I had was like Field and Ember, Night Field, uh, Cacao On, Cacao Aura, Chalkstone. And yeah, I think we're just gonna work with this. If you guys in the audience want to have ideas, have suggestions, or feel free to chime in. But yeah, we're just gonna go with that and start playing around. Excuse me.
Cool. Great. So
So,
Illustrator is your go-to, isn't it? I think we spoke about that a little bit yesterday.
yeah,
But, for those
100%.
just joining us today, yeah.
100%. We've got Illustrator. We've got a bit of Adobe Firefly. I created this nice pattern. I thought I found this on Free Pick. Thought that was nice. So I just searched up like illustration of golden cacao, and I found this one here. I thought that was really nice. You could also go for like the hand illustrated feel. That's always popular. So doing a quick search here. I found the images on Cosmos as well. So you can see here. I went to Cosmos. I typed in. I think I typed in chocolate packaging, coffee packaging, premium. So it's got a lot of beautiful images here that we could pull from. And then so what you can do is we can just download this illustration. And I'm just going to go to Photoshop. And I've got just a chocolate bar here. So if we just go to the design, I'm just going to get the... Oops. I need to get the canvas size. I'm just gonna leave that. Do this. I'm trying to get the do what is it, canvas size, but it's like it's trying to record on Zoom or something.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but it's all right. I'll just do the manual method. And then the height, just so I can get the what I do that so I can get the exact dimensions. Oops. Okay, cool. So what name do you feel like? What should we go with? Like, what are your thoughts?
I feel like Chockstone sounds like a chocolate that should exist. As my only issue is that someone might think that it might like break their jaw, um, like jawbreakers or something. I
Yeah.
suppose the second one is maybe probably more with the aesthetic. I would say Field and Ember, just
Yep.
because you can do fun things with the ampersand,
Yep.
and
And the
it
text.
sounds like a high-end luxury
Yep.
soap or perfume
Yep.
or
True.
chocolate.
True. Good thinking. I
That
think
was
that's
me.
yeah. I think that's great. Yeah. If anyone in the audience has an idea, I think yeah. That's what I was thinking as well. I think it gives space to play with the text,
Yeah.
make it look luxurious. Um, maybe we start.
How did you quickly get rid of that bit of type in front then?
So up the top, you can see we've got the.
It was a bullet.
It was a bullet, yeah. Because I was trying to
Okay.
delete it. I'm like, nah. So that's a quick. Yeah, you can do quick dot points in Illustrator.
Yeah, cool.
All right, now let me just close the PDF. Whenever you're doing a live stream, you're always hoping that nothing crashes.
Yes. Story of my literal life, for sure.
I'm just going to generate a version of this, or I could edit in Photoshop. So in Illustrator, you can edit, and then we can just. I'm going to scale this. Generative expand. While that's doing that, we'll go back to here and let's start playing around with some fonts real quick. How long do we have? Like 25 minutes. Okay, it should be all right. So
You ever find a font that you really like, but you hate the ampersand, so you just take an ampersand or something from like another
yes, I've done that before. I've done that before.
font? Good, yeah.
It's you just got to make do with what you have, just figure it out.
That's it.
Sometimes you don't like the shape or whatever. And it's like, it's not working. And it's like, oh, wait, just got to change it up.
Yeah, or there'll be a particular ligature, or like the S is a bit fat or thin or something, or it's
Yeah.
Q's dropping down in a strange way, but you like everything else.
Yep.
And you have like 8 billion fonts installed, don't you, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
got a
what you're up
lot.
to now?
I got a lot, but I try and tame it. I have to do a culling. I usually do a culling like once a year or something. Like I have an app I use, Font Share. It helps me like deactivate the fonts, which is good.
Yeah.
You can also use filters. I like using filters. I think maybe we'll go for like a scripts. I don't want something too thin though. Field and Ember. That looks very elegant, but we don't. Maybe we don't want to go too elegant.
Just to shout out to Chat Funk. If you want to know something that you saw explained again, just let us know which part it was, because Jeremy is moving very, very quick. But I'm sure he would have no problem going back and showing something if you want to just see something slowed down. And that goes for anything really. We are live, so it's nice to be able to kind of just jump back and say, oh, it was this shortcut, or it's this window or this particular panel or something like that. We'd be happy to show you. So just let us know.
I think I'm liking this one. But the ampersand doesn't really look like an ampersand.
Here we go.
Here we
It's
go.
happening
It's happening.
live.
It's happening
Like the
live.
font, but you don't like the ampersand.
Exactly. Sometimes a quick trick is you go to type and click glyphs. Sometimes you might find one like
Yeah, this
uh
is a great tip.
yeah, you could sometimes you might find other icons or other ampersands, so it's always good to check. Looks like they don't have any other versions. They just got this one. So I guess we can pull it from one of these other brands. Let me just. That's nice, but it's a bit thick. Yeah, I think we'll just use that. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, use the eyedropper. I'm gonna grab this gold yellowy color. And what we could do, because I think Illustrator, the new 2026, they've updated. They've got like their own. They've added all these like gradients,
Yeah.
pre-built. I mean pre in. So I'm just outlining the text, grouping, and just I want to have control over this.
Nice. Well, a quick shout out to James Barnard in chat. What's up?
What's up, James? What's up?
Have you been up since like 2 o'clock this morning because you did a live stream with the American team? I saw that. I haven't watched it. Another great branding designer here from Sydney. Oh, well, not from Sydney, but from Brisbane. But we claim him as our own. I think you got your citizenship recently as well, so congratulations on that. That's very cool. That's cool. I like the outline.
Yeah, like the outline.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's something different. Feels different. It's not. It doesn't clash. It lets the text breathe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the scale. I don't want to overlap it too much. Like I can bring it like this, but it loses a bit of a. So I'm gonna click save on this, but I don't know if it's gonna. I should have. Oh, that's all right. I'll just save this quickly.
Nice.
Because I
James
think
is asking if I'm jealous. No, I'm not jealous. It's fine. We have an open relationship.
Oh, by the way, I got approval for that. Oh wait, this is the wrong image. I got approval for that logo yesterday. I was showing you. I was up last night.
Oh, you did? Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah, I think this is the one they liked. I'll show you quickly.
Oh, yep. Cool.
Yeah, so it was I spent some time. So this is one of the new designs. But yeah, he loved it. He said the sign sold him on it.
I was going to say that neon sign's pretty cool for a mock-up. Is that a mock-up that you have that can make that neon, or did you have to manually make it like that?
That I used Nana Banana for that.
Oh, wow. I mean,
First try.
effective,
It got it a
right?
first try, dude. I was like, what the? It's actually pretty good.
That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
I need to explore that a little bit more. It seems to be pretty good.
Yeah. Usually it takes a few goes, but I just got the aesthetic on that one, really well. And then like I did a mock up with the camera, but the text
Nice.
I had to fix that in Photoshop. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, all good. Something fun to show. What if we added a? Okay, cool. So yeah, if you use it lighten, it's gonna blend it, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to jump in with another question, if you don't mind, as we're rolling
Yeah,
through.
go for it.
When choosing a font, are you looking for something that matches a feeling?
Yes. 100%.
Cool. And that kind of comes back to like the brand exploration and stuff that you've done before with the client. You've got a pretty good understanding of where they're at,
Yep.
the audience, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the times it's like design is not always. Sometimes it's feeling emotion. It's a bit of art mixed in. It's not just even as Paula Shia. She works for Pranagram. She always says that as well. Yeah, not every decision has to be like completely yeah, let you call the time. Could be just because it looks fun, looks cool, matches the vibes. Okay. Let me just, what colors could we get from here? Maybe like a brown or the red.
Oh, so it was a bit of a follow up for the font question. For example, if it was a company that was into auto racing, would you find a font that looks fast, for example?
Yeah, I would look for like an italic font or sharp edges.
Yeah. It's like delivery companies, right? Logistics company. They kind of, you'll often find they're often italicized and things like that. But I think as a word of caution to like newer designers as well, I think it's important not to be too cliche. I think there can sometimes be a bit of a balance there. And you'll often find that there are other competitors that might have a very similar sort of aesthetic going. I remember when I was very junior, but some people were making a design school called Tractor. And the main part of the brief to the design studio was no tractor marks, like no pictures of tractors. Like that's not the point of it. And so there was a big no list on there. So sometimes you have to navigate between like what you'll kind of come across straight away in cliche or crowded market stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
This is packaging, isn't it? That's what we're
Yeah, basically, we're
doing.
doing a bit of logo design. We're doing packaging.
The reason I say that is it's like the writing sideways is such a packaging thing. Like it makes it look, even though it's currently just a flat,
Yeah,
just a flat rectangle, it can make it look more realistic, like a bit more professional, having like all of the, you put a barcode on it and suddenly everyone would also understand what it is.
yeah,
Some things
100%.
like that. It's like a website. If you're doing a mock-up of a website, as soon as you put a footer down the bottom with like hyperlinks, like suddenly it looks a bit more like a website.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. There's are the certain things that you do to make it look just has that like signature touch,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just doing maybe some different lockups here. Shape builder, could cut that off. Actually, I
Got
don't
a
know. We
designer
could.
to designer question here, Jeremy. You ready? You ready for it?
All right, hit me.
All right. Someone called Barnard Co. Has asked you, Jeremy, what's your opinion about working in CMYK first for branding projects? I know JPEG Cass does this, so he knows his designs can be printed. I see you working in RGB now.
Well, of course. I used to. Von Glitchka used to always say that it's better to work in RGB first because the color gamut is wider. And so when you switch to CMYK, it has a better, it retains more information or something. So it's better. But you have to change it before you print. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Von Glitchka is an OG. So yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, make sure I think the main thing is make sure you remember to outline your fonts. I think someone posted on Reddit the other day. It was on a truck, and then the tagline was in some like myriad font or something.
I saw exactly the same post. Yeah. Are you in like graphic design? Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I think
that's
the same
it.
subreddits. Yeah.
It was a truck like Rubbles or Bubbles or something. That was
That's
funny.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Ice cream
funny.
truck or food truck of some kind, right? And it had clearly defaulted to like something like worse than Helvetica. Like it was clearly
Bad.
wrong.
Yeah. 100%. Cool. Yeah, so we've got some vibes going, some packaging, logo for fun.
Nice.
And then we could always like generate some backgrounds or something. Let's go here and go. Oops. I want to change the wood texture.
What are we in now? We're in Firefly.
Firefly. Yeah, I'm just gonna say create a onks texture dark.
Daytona in chat saying I'd make the foil
Marble.
gold to class it up as well. Yeah, I think in some of the examples, like in your mood board, it was kind of, there was foil. So yeah, that's definitely something you could do.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of, there's some like an indent, right? In that one on the right. Like it's being
Yep.
scored.
Debossed. Yeah.
Debossed. That's it. Thank you.
Deboss. Yeah, that would look mad. And obviously you can, you could make a compound path and go back to, where's all those gradient swatches that I had? Anyway, you can always just go like this. Like just to show what it could look like.
Yeah.
And then you'll tell the printer, you'll put it on a separate layer and tell the printer, hey, this is going to be gold foiled. And then even embossed, that would look cool. If you want to do that sort of in Photoshop, a quick trick. But the thing is, the text is, so what you could do, just copy this. Some mockups would like already have it, like already set up. Just want to cover. I just want to hide the there we go. So I was just trying to hide that so I can do this and then double click on this vector layer, which is the logo. I just paste it in.
Right.
And then you could go bevel and emboss. Then you can do like a pillar emboss or just a normal emboss like this.
Yeah.
And then
that's cool. So that needs to be a vector so that understand, because otherwise it'd just be the JPEG that you put in originally, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna do the whole packaging. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is not what I wanted.
No, it's cool. It's great. It's good to show that process.
Yeah, and then you can just play around with this. So you could switch it if you want to make it look. I don't know. You got to play around with it. But see, like from far away, it looks like it's got a bit of emboss. And then some people, what you could do as well is let's download this. Oh wait, I wanted the wrong. You do gold foil. Texture. Oh, it's not working. Or I could do it in Adobe Firefly. Just let me do this one.
Love that there's multiple ways to do things like this.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Golden foil texture paper. Just quickly generate that, and then I'll go back here. And I want to get rid of this background because I don't really like it that much. Hopefully you can't hear my son. He's crying in the other room.
Oh no, no, we can't. I have the kid filter on. Joy's trying to do a live stream with a screaming kid in the background.
You just never know who's gonna start knocking on your door. So yeah, I'm just getting some What am I doing here? I'm trying to just make the background a bit more like moody. So I'm just putting so I put the texture and then I put like just a charcoal color on top, and then I'm sort of painting out some of the areas using just a vector mask.
Oh yeah.
So I want to sort of highlight the middle of the chocolate. And then back to this gold foil. Cool, we can download that. And then we go drop that in. And then you can use a blending mode. Actually, let me go back here. Oh no, is it this one? Oh, this one. Yeah. Drag it into here. And then you want to hold Alt and left click so it applies it to that. And let me just change the effect a little bit.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Save this, and then you can see it looks more like. Can you tell?
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, looks mad.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's one way to do it. You can obviously scale it like this and duplicate.
Like if you wanted it more like higher quality, you're kind of reducing down.
Yeah. Just get those details right. And obviously, and this one had a bit of shadow, which I don't like. See, the lighting on this one is you want one just more with better, just more flat lighting. But look, looks pretty cool, and you can apply it to the other text and stuff. Yeah.
It's really
What
cool.
else? Yeah. And what else could we do? We could I don't know, put some little details, like put a little banner or something. Single origin. And I'm just using the font Fig Tree.
Oh yeah, we saw that one yesterday, didn't we? Is that like currently a bit of a go-to font, or?
Yeah, it's on Google Fonts. You can get for free, and it's just really clean. It's a clean font.
Yeah.
And then what else could we do? We could do some different colors. So maybe you want to do like a red. Let's do a red version.
So you're kind of swapping the brand colors around, like the lighter and the darker version.
Yep, exactly. Just change this. I don't know if I'm gonna do. No, I might just. I'll just put a color on top and then do color. Oops.
Is Fig Tree the new Gotham?
Fig Tree the new guy. Yeah.
Maybe it is. Great. And James is very surprised that you're using a PC, by the way.
Yeah, I don't use Mac, bro. I'm a PC guy.
I definitely get jealous when we're sometimes on the streams, and I think there's so many streams where I'm like, hey, what plugin is that? Or what app is that? And you're like, yeah, it's PC only. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. You can only play proper games on PC, man. So
That's true. I just have both. I just have my PC over there, slightly off camera.
yeah. Man, the gaming YouTubers have like two PCs running. One's streaming, one's
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like they have crazy setups, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Here's another version. Oh wait, I need oh, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. Oh no. This one is there we go. So yeah, that's just a quick way, like coming up with the
Nice.
name, coming up with some packaging, and then I'd like press Control Shift Alt E to make like a thing, and then I'll do Control Shift A, go into camera raw filter, bump this up, contrast. We'll go effects, maybe put a bit of green, put the texture up, clarity, and then go to color saturation, and then like do like a blur, do
So
an
the
eye.
camera raw, does that affects, is that like just a layer over the top? Like if you wanted to go back and change something, you could just turn off that layer. Is that what's happening there? Yeah.
So what I've done, yeah, I've merged all the layers into one layer.
Yes. Cool.
And then so I don't damage the rest of the design.
Yeah. Cool.
And so then I just apply color adjustments, and
Like
then
as a final kind of, I'm about to output this. I'm about to send this to the client. I'm about to upload this to my
exactly
website, Instagram, whatever.
Yep. So I
Cool.
could upload this as like, yeah, on socials and say, hey, work in progress or whatever.
Yeah, actually, I was about to ask this question too. But what James says, cool last step. What was that shortcut for Camera Raw?
Control Shift A.
Control Shift A, and it takes it from the layer that you've selected and opens Camera Raw.
Yep. And the reason why I
That's
do
pretty
this is
cool.
because you have all your effects and colors and lighting all in one thing. Instead of doing hue adjustment, color balance, different layers, it's just faster.
I
So
like that. That's a cool step. I didn't know that one.
yeah, and you can even sharpen it as well if you want to sharpen.
Nice.
So you get all the details. So yeah, that's a cool tip. But yeah, bit of fun. I think we're done. But yeah, hopefully you
We
enjoyed
are.
that.
Wow. Got like the whole presentation in, and then we got a speed run of packaging mock-up design.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think something that I noticed a lot during that stream is the multiple different ways that you were approaching solving the problem. Like there was a little bit of, oh, I could, jump into Photoshop and do this, or I could try to find something in stock in one of these stock resources that already exist.
Yep.
I could generate you generated the foil in Firefly, but there were other methods that you were looking to solve that problem. And I think that's just like a really cool example of where we are today. Like as
So many
designers
options.
and creators, there's so many options, and there's not necessarily a right way or a wrong way. There's efficiency, there's, efficiency, right? I guess. And then
Exactly.
fidelity, and then just understanding like what the right thing might be for that particular situation on that day. And I think, so that was really cool. I really liked seeing that.
Thanks,
and
man.
everything else as well, like the breakdown of branding and everything. And also a shortcut that James Barnard and I did not know. So that's pretty cool. Much more that James wanted to know what the shortcut was than me. But
awesome.
I do always love learning
pleasure.
something like that. It's really cool, man. Really cool.
So cool. Thanks, man.
Where can people find more of you? I know you've got some tutorials and stuff as well. So if there's newbies around that want to learn more from you, that want a little bit more time than we can do today, where can they find more stuff?
So yeah, so I've got a YouTube channel with 900 videos. So heaps of tutorials on.
That's crazy.
I've got a free logo course on there. I've got AI tools that I like using, how to make websites, Framer tutorials, logo design, Illustrator tutorials, heaps of stuff. So feel free to jump on there, subscribe, and then if you want to dive a bit deeper to other stuff I do, is you can go on my website and see some other stuff I do, video courses, coaching. You can go on Skillshare, learn some of my courses, and yeah, that's about me. But thanks so much.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Jeremy. And guys, we're done for the week, but we'll be back shortly. Maybe even James Barnard might join us sometime in the future. But we have some more beginner streams coming up. We're covering After Effects. We're covering Premiere Pro. We're going to be covering some sort of in-depth Photoshop stuff as well. And yeah, Jeremy Law will continue his illustration campaign as well to teach us how to draw better.
Awesome.
I'm doing a terrible job at it. But Jeremy Mura, thanks as always. We look forward to having you back when we jump in a little bit later in the year to some more intermediate stuff as well. So we'll invite you back for that. That'd be great.
Amazing. Thanks so much, man.
Thank
Talk to
you.
you soon.
And thanks everybody. See you later.